So I'm going live tomorrow, so this video may or may not get uploaded before or after the live because I don't like putting too many videos out at once. I kind of like to let people digest the information, and I don't really like overwhelming people with too much shit. But consistent with what I talked about in my video explaining that men that don't understand women are dangerous, there's something else I wanted to talk about because it kind of relates to that video a little bit. But this is an even bigger problem than what I talked about in that video. And that's because either intentionally or accidentally, modern parents of the modern era, they're creating a race of retardation in their children, either intentionally or intentionally. And the main reason that I wanted to cover this is because it relates to, again, what happened in the video I was talking about. But I want to cover a much bigger picture this time. So, something that I've noticed that's pretty universal among almost everybody in the younger generation is that kids are being raised today to think that there's no consequences for their actions, that they can just do whatever the hell they want, and because they're kids, right, nothing is ever their fault, there's no consequences for their actions, they never have to take responsibility for any decisions that they make. Now, what happens when because the hearts of men are easily corrupted, the hearts of humans are easily corrupted. What happens when you take a child and you give them in their minds what they believe to be unlimited power? They can do whatever they want, they can never get in trouble because they're children, and there's no consequences because they're too young to know what they're doing. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what's going to happen next. That child, assuming they don't run into anything that's going to seriously impact them while they're young, that child is going to grow up to be a teenager that thinks the same thing, to be an adult that thinks the same thing. And you guys already know what happens when you take somebody and teach them that nothing is ever their fault, that they're always a victim, and nothing that they do can ever be wrong. They never learn from their mistakes, so they never get any better at anything in life. This is why, and I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but this is why you have so many men that just don't understand women. Because they're literally being raised. They're being raised and trained to think that men and women are the same. And they're trained that there's no such thing as a fact. There's no such thing as a truth. It's all about your opinions. It's all about what you believe. It's all about your morals. And it's all about what you identify as. These men grow up and they become adults, 30, 40, 50 years old. And they never learn how women are. Women are the same way. We raise little girls nowadays to think that they can just go out and be with a bunch of guys and there's no consequences and some person is going to take them for how they are, right? Which is cool if you want a white knight simp, but that's not what women are attracted to. Women then grow up, they become teenagers, right? When a girl is a teenager, they notice they get attention from all types of different men. It's like the world is their oyster, right? They got a lot of different men to sample from, And I've heard a few girls admit this out loud when they become 21, 22, right? The most honest ones admit, something changed. The attention went down, right? And then when they become 30, suddenly they can no longer attract any of the men that they actually want. So both genders suffer, both sexes suffer from this differently, but they suffer in a similar way, just differently. Because they never learn the truth when they're young, because they grow up thinking that the truth doesn't matter, when it's too late, when they become old and they realize it's all a lie, it's too late to unwind the clock, and it's too late to go back. And they're then taught to cope with this by thinking that if they die, it doesn't matter that they wasted their entire lives chasing a lie, because if they die, they'll get rewarded with a heaven, and everything that they did in life doesn't matter. Nobody ever questions that, what if that is a lie? Because it's all a fucking lie, right? But nobody wants to question if their God is lying to them, if their parents, priests, teachers, etc. Nobody wants to question the ultimate lie that they're told. Nobody wants to question that, what if they just wasted their life for nothing, and if they die, they're going to experience something far worse than they've ever experienced in life. The result of thinking like this is that people never try to live. People waste the best years of their lives when they're teenagers, kids, and young adults chasing bullshit. Then when they realize they fucked up, instead of trying to live as long as possible, they try to die as quickly as possible, because in their minds, the only solution now is to die. Now, most of these people don't take their own lives, though. The human instincts are strong. The human instinct warns you about what's going to happen to you if you die. That's why even the most depressed people in the world, they have that deep fear that keeps them alive, because deep down inside they know the truth. Deep down inside they know something is wrong. So most people never take their own lives, but instead what they do is they die slowly. And as they get older and older and older, as they get closer and closer and closer to their God or their deity or whatever it is they believe in, they begin to find solace in death. They begin to imagine what their life after life is going to look like, and they begin to picture another realm at which none of their mistakes they made in life will affect them. Well, I hate to tell you, man, life is a one-shot deal. You either get it right, or what happens to you afterwards is not going to be pretty. See, because the little fucker that was saying he's going to throw his life away to come to Maryland and make me pay for what I did to his friends, and that he won't get in trouble because he's younger than me. And it's like, these kids don't realize that there's certain shit that will get you killed. And it doesn't matter that, oh, I'm still a teenager, or oh, I'm on my period, or oh, I have autism. Like, they don't understand that certain shit can get you killed. And none of that crap that you're lied to matters. In real life, your actions have consequences, okay? Now, wasting your youth chasing the wrong people and hanging around the wrong people, that has a different set of consequences. That should affect you long term. But picking fights with people that have a different mentality than you, that has more rapid consequences, right? And you see this all the time, man, on the internet. You see these people that think that just because they do some boxing or just because they do some MMA, they think they're going to walk up to an adult, put hands on them, and then walk away as if nothing happens. There's a lot of murders in Baltimore due to people having this false mentality, and over 50% of them go unsolved. Because, see, these people, they believe another lie. They believe that if they get shot in the process or whatever, that the person that did that to them is magically going to get arrested. Because they have been trained to believe that cops are not humans, that cops have superpowers, that cops are magical robots. And it's like, no, dude, if there's even if there's cameras around, so many fucking people look just like each other, unless they have distinguishing features that stand out. Like me, I'm one of the few black guys that wears his hair like this. I have a pretty unique look to me. So when I commit crimes, I got to be extra careful that I'm not on camera, because I'm very easy to distinguish. But most of you fuckers, y'all basically look like clones of each other. So if you pick a fight with another adult and they look just like a million other adults, how the fuck are they ever gonna get in trouble unless they themselves tell on themselves, right? And that's essentially why I want to make this video, man, because it's like people just throw their lives away, either immediately by doing something stupid that will get them killed quickly, or long term by believing this bullshit that because they're a kid, they can do whatever the fuck they want with no consequences. That Charles fucker that I debated live, we had another debate in private where he was basically saying that if a 14-year-old does something, they should never be held accountable for their actions because they're 14. So I flipped it on him. Everybody that says this retarded crock of shit, I then flip it back on them. I'm like, what if a 14-year-old killed the person you were closest to, would you have the same opinion? And the obvious answer is no. Okay? I've seen how you people react when somebody you're close to gets attacked. I've seen how you people react, and your reaction is not going to change just because a child did it. Okay? This is one of the main reasons I'm immoral, because 100% of people, the morals that they claim they have, they will contradict that morality under the right circumstances. Ask me how I know. You know what I'm saying? The most obvious point is survival. Everybody will contradict their morality if survival is on the line because of that inner fear that we naturally have of death. Because everybody naturally knows something's not right. So nobody is in a hurry to die, even the most suicidal of people. Which is ironic because it all trains you to throw your life away, man. It all trains you to never question what happens if what you believe is false. So people make these mistakes when they're young because they think there's no consequences. Then as they become adults and they see that there's consequences, they continue to waste their lives because they believe that if they die, it's all going to get reset and all the mistakes they made in life doesn't matter. Well, listen, man, for those of y'all that can't read between the lines, let me just make something perfectly clear to you. Life is a one-shot deal. You either get it and you get it right, or you don't get it and then you have to fully accept the consequences of not getting it, man. And I don't know if there's too many kids that watch my videos anymore. I know there's a lot of like teenagers that are close to being adults now that watch my channel, but I'm hoping that this video gets seen by somebody that's like really, really young. Because you're going to have people like Charles, you're going to have people like your parents, you're going to have people like your teachers, you're going to have people like 99% of society that's going to lie to you and tell you that because you're 9 or because you're 12 or because you're 15, you don't know what you're doing, quote unquote, so you can do whatever you want, there's no consequences, and nothing's going to happen to you in the real world. And the reason people like this piss me off so much, I've met so many fucking damaged kids because of people teaching them this bullshit. They will do something or something will happen to them, and when they face the consequences of their actions, they're confused. They have nobody to turn to because when they tell other people that they've received consequences for their actions, they don't get any type of truth. They instead have people saying, oh, it was a travesty of justice. In my opinion, or what I believe, you shouldn't have faced any consequences because you're still a kid. And then the kid gets depressed, sad, and angry because they're going through something. They're having problems because of what they've done, and nobody's giving them a truthful solution. Nobody's able to help them because everybody is stuck in this loop of retardation about opinions, beliefs, and bullshit. And you know, I don't even know what I'm going to title this video because what I'm talking about, I wanted to split in 2 videos. I wanted to make one video talking about how parents are creating a race of retardation. And then I wanted to make a separate video talking about how people should question, like, people don't question if they're not going to a better place if they die, but fuck it. Since I'm including it all in one video, I'll have to get creative with the title. And there's going to be people that comment on this video saying that this is a conversation that little kids don't need to hear. Why the fuck not? You claim you care about your child, so why are you hiding truthful information from them? Why aren't you having this conversation with your kid? Because you have to learn the truth at a much younger age than what you people fucking realize. Because it's not enough to just learn what is true. No. After you learn what is true, you then have to go out in real life and live life with the truth inside you. You have to experience the difference. And that takes years. For people that are slow learners, that may even take a couple of decades. So what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to wait until you're 60 years old to learn the truth? And then die at 65, you haven't had any time to fucking live in real life with what is true. Your life force is gone now, and you got nothing to show for it now. Or you can learn the truth when you're 9 years old, then spend 10 years living in harmony with the truth and seeing the shit with your own eyes. And then by the time you get to 60, you're now at a level that regular people would consider to be impossible. So impossible that the regular Orcazoid now thinks you're insane. Because you're basically on another realm. You know what I'm saying? It's just different, man. I experience this shit right now. If you look at some of the comments on some of my older videos, right, people will just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? When I really am not making this complicated at all, man. And, oh, and my fucking oven is, hang on. Sorry about that. I'm making salmon while I'm making this video. But, shit, what was I? Oh yeah, so it's like, and people are being trained, man. Everybody in society is being trained to think that you can just waste your youth. To think that you have forever to fucking figure things out, and you don't. They feed you lies and bullshit from the day that you're born. From the day that you're born, they tell you ridiculous bullshit that opinions can't be wrong, that opinions matter more than the truth, that the truth doesn't matter. It's all about what you believe. It's all about your perspective. It's all this bullshit, man. They even got fucking, I'll be on Instagram doing research, man. I've got hundreds of posts saved, man. Because I know I said in my previous video that Instagram is the best dating app in the world, and it is. But the second reason I use the shit is because I'm always collecting data, man. And it's sad, man. You got fucking 12, 13-year-old boys on there that they've been trained to think they can choose their sex, so they have in their bios transitioning, or this is what I identify. And it's like, by the time they realize the truth, man, it's gonna be too late. You know what I'm saying? Because they're never told the truth, that you were born as this, it's not gonna change. So you have to live life in harmony with the truth. And the people that get it, get it. The people that don't get it, they're gonna think that I'm being fucking transphobic or ableist or anti-opinion, and I am anti-opinion, because unless you're in a position to where you can make a change with your opinion, why are you focusing on opinions? You should be focusing on what is true so you can get to that level in the first place. But instead, man, you guys are trained and taught to waste the best years of your fucking life, and then when you get older and it's too late for you to because like, you don't get less busy as you get older, man. You get more busy as you get older. I mean, when you're a little kid and you have all the free time in the world to learn what is true and then spend the rest of your life living in harmony with what is true, to the point to where you can do things that regular people think is impossible, that's a lot more efficient than waiting until you're 40 and you have no free time to think about this shit. That's why they train you to be inefficient. That's why they train you to be cattle on a farm, because in order to make a slave out of a creature, that creature must be totally dependent on you for survival. And what the fuck is the cattle farm? Why the fuck do you think I'm writing the book? Anyways, man, I think I've said enough. And I think by this point, if I say anything else, it's going to be redundant. You know, I'm probably going to upload this before I go live, because I honestly want, fuck it. I'm going to upload this before I go live. It's 4 in the morning. I might upload it right now. And yeah, man, if any of you people that get it, if y'all have a little sister or a little brother that you care about, or somebody you're close to that's still a child that you care about, show them this video, man, because they got to hear it. And I know how kids are. They may reject it outright, but they got to hear it. They got to get it in their brain that it doesn't matter that they're a child. It doesn't matter that society is lying to them, saying that they're protected. You got to protect yourself even as a child. How the fuck do you do that? We should first start by learning what is true. And you should first start by accepting that what is actually true and that what is actual reality that trumps all the opinionated bullshit that you've been taught and trained to believe since birth.